Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Asked Us, as in, if you did not know, you should have asked us, with Cairo and Daisy.
It's a tough one to start with today, remembering Dikembe Mutombo. A real giant in every sense, not just because he was 7'2". The finger wag, the legend on the court, he left us this week battling brain cancer.
And, it's easy to just think about the highlights, the awards. 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. But Mutombo, he always saw basketball as a way to do something bigger,
Yeah, and you can really feel that in how people are reacting, right? It's not just athletes who lost a teammate. It's the whole world recognizing someone who really cared.
Absolutely, yeah. Like Joel Embiid said, he was even better off the court. And the emotion from Masai Ujiri, calling him a giant, an incredible person, that tells you everything.
So we all know the finger wag, but today we're going deeper than that, beyond the court. We'll talk about his NBA career. But we're really looking at Mutombo's legacy, service, compassion, the difference one person can make.
And it's interesting, Mutombo always said his real legacy wasn't about points or championships. He believed it was about helping others, especially back home in the Democratic Republic of the Congo.
And he definitely had a lot to build on, right? 18 seasons in the NBA, 8-time All-Star, played for Denver, Atlanta, Philly. But there's that moment, the 94 playoffs, it really shows his impact.
You mean Denver as the 8th seed, beating the Seattle Supersonics, the top team.
Exactly. First time ever an 8th seed won like that. There's Mutombo leading the charge. But even with all that success, he felt drawn to something more.
And that pull came from seeing the DRC, the struggles there. Growing up with his dad, an educator, he saw how much they needed healthcare, education. It lit a fire in him to change things.
And that fire led to the Dikembe Mutombo Foundation back in '97. What was his vision for that?
He was focused on making life better for everyone in the Congo, and this wasn't just donating money. Mutombo was really involved.
Which is where the Biamba Marie Mutombo Hospital comes in, named for his mother, showing how important family was to him.
A $29 million hospital helped over 500,000 people. They've even pioneered stuff like knee replacements in the DRC, things we take for granted. That's the kind of impact he made.
It's incredible. But it wasn't just healthcare. He knew education was vital, too.
Right. He always talked about how his dad instilled that value in him. And to honor him, he built the Samuel Mutombo Institute of Science and Entrepreneurship, a brand new school, full scholarships, resources for over 400 students.
Like he took those two pillars, his parents, and built something amazing from them. Healthcare, education, things that can really break the cycle of poverty.
He always said he'd be judged not by blocked shots, but by how he helped people, not the fame, but the actions.
Like Adam Silver said, he was humanitarian at his core. Basketball was a means to an end for him.
And he lived that way. When he made it to the NBA, he insisted his father, who was a school superintendent, retire. Said he'd worked hard enough.
Wow. Shows how much respect and love he had for family.
Definitely. And it reflects his own dedication to learning. When he got to Georgetown, he barely spoke English. Imagine that. But he graduated with degrees in linguistics and diplomacy. He was building towards something bigger.
Makes that new school even more meaningful, right? It wasn't just charity, it was personal. He knew how much education could change lives.
Exactly. And it didn't stop there. Mutombo believed in helping in every way he could. He knew real change meant working on all fronts.
So he wasn't just focused on the Congo.
Oh, no, not at all. Mutombo's impact went way beyond that. He was on the boards of so many organizations, each one tackling a different piece of making the world better.
We're going to get into those incredible efforts in just a bit. But first, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll explore how Dikembe Mutombo became a global force for good.